Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 184. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we have Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing there, Kevin?
We're doing all right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The reason that this week's episode is not live, I am currently at the beach. So I'm having a little vacay, but
Beaching it.
I decided, you know what? I want to be there for our listeners. I want to make a show anyway, so we're doing a little show today. It'll probably be a little bit shorter than our usual stuff, and the quality on my end probably isn't going to be the best because I have a pretty janky setup going on right now, so you may hear clicks, you may hear some fans, you may hear some ocean in the background.
Oh, yeah.
So apologies for that.
Hopefully we pick up that ocean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally looking at it right now, and the surf is pretty heavy right now because of the rain and stuff.
Yeah.
We can't get in the water today because it's really bad. But at any rate, looking forward to a fun week here. Before we jump into our first review, I guess we should mention what we're reviewing this week. We're going to be reviewing The Keeping Room.
Ooh.
And that'll be our only review this week. We'll also be talking about some of what we've been watching, this week's movie predictions, new on video on demand, DVD and Blu-ray releases, all that fun stuff. I wanted to quickly thank our latest Patreon subscriber, Jared Ego. Thank you, Jared, for becoming our latest Patreon subscriber. If you want to help support Film Pulse, head over to patreon.com/filmpulse. We have some different reward tiers and all kinds of fun stuff, and I plan on developing some more things for that in the future. As always, I'm always tweaking it, so check it out. Help support the show. We appreciate that so very much. And thank you again, Jared. Let's dive into our first review, shall we? Our only review this week. We're talking about The Keeping Room. This is directed by Daniel Barber, and it's written by Julia Hart, stars Britt Marling, Haley Steinfeld, Sam Worthington, and Muna Ataru. I have a synopsis here. Left without men in the dying days of the American Civil War, 3 Southern women, 2 sisters, and 1 African-American slave must fight to defend their home and themselves from 2 rogue soldiers who have broken off from the fast-approaching Union Army. Now, Kevin, you wrote a review for The Keeping Room.
That is correct.
Which is up on the site right now, so you can read Kevin's review in full detail. I'll start it off, and I will say that I liked The Keeping Room.
Oh, shit.
Big surprise there. I bet you couldn't guess that.
No idea.
I was a big fan of The Keeping Room. I thought it looked gorgeous. I loved just everything about it, really. The premise, you know, these 3 women who their whole family was basically killed in the war. So it's just them, and they're forced to essentially become the men of the household. They're forced to chop wood and hunt and do all these jobs that are traditionally designated to men, you know? And I liked that in and of itself. I liked that concept in and of itself. But once you introduce the whole evil soldiers kind of hunting them and coming after them, and them having to step up and become essentially killers themselves, you know, I liked that even more. It was a badass movie, and I'm sure we're going to get to the visuals. But what was that?
The visuals are amazing.
Yeah, I figured we.
Whoever picked out these locations, give them awards.
Yeah, killer location. I like this new trend of. I mean, I would consider this a Western. Would you consider this a Western? It's more of a Western than a war movie, I would say.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would compare it to The Retrieval, which I was a big fan of. You were too, as far as the look and the style. A lot of really dense forests and kind of like tree canopies and things like that, and it just looked amazing. I just loved the look of this one.
Sure did. Plus, you got that Martin Rue cinematography going on, which he does quality stuff.
Yeah,
And once
cool.
again here, there's a couple of scenes that are just they're stunning. There's a number of them.
Yeah.
I highlighted two in my review, but there's a couple more. There's a couple more in there. And I mean, honestly, I would recommend this film just on that alone.
Yeah, same
Like,
here. Absolutely.
Like, cut out the story and everything, just visuals alone. It's a recommend.
Now, one thing that I also liked a lot about this, and this is something that not only do I rarely mention on the show, I mention it from time to time, but I really took notice, was the score. For some reason, with movies, unless the score really, really stands out to me, I don't take notice. And with this one, I really noticed the score, and I liked it quite a lot.
See, I don't remember the score.
See, that happens to me usually. Usually,
Must
I
not
just
have made an impression on me.
yeah. But this one, I was really digging the score. So, performances. What'd you think about the main performances in this one?
Oh, Britt Marling and Muna Ataru are fantastic. And I heard a lot. That was really all I heard going into this is a lot of buzz about Britt Marling, her performance in this. And again, she's quite good, and I agree with everything that I've heard. But Muna Ataru, I thought was just as good.
Well, especially there's a specific scene near the end where she does kind of a monologue, and
Oh yeah,
it's extremely powerful. I mean, that'll knock you on your ass. So.
yeah, that is gripping line delivery there.
Absolutely. And Haley Steinfeld, I thought, was fine too. Her character.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have a lot to do, but
Right.
she nails what's asked of her.
Yeah, I mean, her character is kind of the child of the group. So she's kind of whiny at times, and she's kind of always in peril, really.
Pretty much.
And that's kind of her role. She's just the young kid that's in peril. And
She does a good job of showing that she's in peril.
yeah.
Just about every single time you're like, yeah, she's in peril.
Yeah, she totally sold the raccoon bite.
Which was a bit silly.
Well, just the whole time I was thinking, why couldn't we see this? Because I would love to have seen the scenario in which she's just walking and a raccoon just comes out of the forest and
Just
bites
bites
into
her.
her leg and then runs away.
It's such a weird development, to kind of put, because essentially that needs to happen for everything else to
Right,
be
yeah,
set.
absolutely.
It's such an odd thing.
Yeah.
Such an odd plot point to, get everything in motion is that, a raccoon bite while she's just wandering in the forest
Yeah.
for some reason.
Well, let's step back a little bit and kind of expound on that. So she gets bit by a raccoon. I'm pretty sure that we can assume that it's rabid because she immediately gets sick. Like immediately gets sick from this.
This is not a quality raccoon.
This raccoon's seen some shit. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say the raccoon's seen some shit. And
Yeah.
so Britt Marling's character of Augusta, she heads off to find medicine. She goes to their neighbor, which is presumably 25 miles away. And the neighbor is dead, no longer with us. So she heads over to the next area, which is sort of like a general store, or maybe even like a saloon. I didn't really get what the main...
A little bit of everything going on there.
Sort of a general store, and that's where she happens upon Sam Worthington's character of Moses and...
Kyle Solar.
Yeah, Kyle Solar is Henry. And they're drunk and they kind of take a liking to her. And this is where something really weird happens in the movie that I can't understand. And maybe you can tell me why things transpire the way they do. So she, basically the owner of the place is like, you got to get out of here. And there's another woman there and she's like, she kind of creates a diversion so she can escape.
Mm-hmm,
She steals Sam Worthington and Kyle Solar's horse. She doesn't take her own horse.
No, she takes a better horse. She upgrades her horse because her horse is not in good shape.
So she takes their horse, but then she doesn't just immediately go away. She kind of hangs out there for a while and has a little standoff with them. And then she rides away. and then they follow her on foot.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they take her horse?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is maybe they're thinking the horse is going to create too much noise. Can't really
Maybe
sneak up with a horse, I guess. I don't know.
Also,
but then again, when they finally get to the house, it's not like they're quiet. So,
well, exactly, and also, I'm pretty sure she mentions that it's like a 2-day ride or whatever to get to that place. Like, it's really far away.
Yeah.
And they walk to her place. It probably took them a week to get there.
Well, that gave you plenty of time for Haley Steinfeld's character
to get better,
come back, to get better, and
I don't know. Just the whole horse thing didn't really add up for me. It seemed a little odd.
That's what I thought. It's like why didn't you just leave right away? But again, this aspect of the taking over the male roles, you can, and I don't know if that's part of it, is that you can tell they're kind of first timers when it comes to some of those aspects. I don't know why I said first timers, but whatever.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Because there's another decision that she makes on later on in the film that didn't make any sense to me.
I'm trying to remember.
When she kind of wounds someone and then just leaves them.
Yes. That didn't make a lot of sense to me either, especially given the trauma that she previously endured at his hands. Like, I don't know. There's a few things that happen in this where you're just like, huh? Like, I just don't think it would play out like that, especially because these three women, I mean, even Haley Steinfeld, they're pretty strong characters, and I feel like they would make sure they would hammer that shit home.
You think they haven't gone full? They haven't, I guess, fully gone over to the other side.
I guess, but I was still a pretty big fan of this. The end was a little bit.
The end was again, it's another silly thing.
Yeah, the end really didn't do it for me.
You're not fucking selling me at all. I mean, you didn't even you did a half-ass job. You're not even concealing all of your hair. You're like 3 times smaller than.
Well, yeah, that too. I was actually referring to the part before that with. I can't really say it, but Sam Worthington's involved.
Yeah.
That part too I found to be a little unrealistic, just how that played out. And then the end that you were mentioning, that was, to me, that was almost laughable. I was like, come on now.
That's weird, really.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I did like that shot, that kind of the shot at the end, the wide shot of the house.
That's gorgeous.
That was an amazing shot.
That was a gorgeous shot. But I would like to see this film go like 3 more minutes where they all die quickly. Because they're lasting maybe 5 minutes tops.
I just don't see that working out for them in any way, because it's not. They're not fooling anyone, seriously.
Not even close. Not even close.
But other than that stuff, I still enjoyed the film very much.
Yeah, and it knows what it is. It knows that it's a simple survival film.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it does a great job of that. It definitely keeps your attention. It's very gripping. There's a lot of tension in there.
Yeah, there is absolutely, and not a whole lot else to say about it. Great performances, great visuals. I thought the score was great. There's just some silliness towards the end and the horse thing.
There's a little bit of silliness. And raccoons, too. Feral raccoons. Rabid raccoons taking out people.
There was also a really interesting thing that happened involving Nicholas Pinnock's character, Bill.
Yeah, that was...
It was a really odd thing, because I didn't quite understand why it was in there. Because when they first introduced that character, he looked like a badass. I'm like, oh man, he's like a bounty hunter or something, and he's hunting these dudes, and he's going to come in and maybe help them out or something.
Nope, over.
And I was like, wait a minute, that's not how that's supposed to play out. I just thought it was kind of odd to have that character in there because to me, it didn't really add much to the story. Because I felt like they needed to expand on it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a little bit of tension there.
I mean, it certainly
like
adds to the drama of everything.
Yeah.
Because of how it plays out. But I just maybe wanted a little bit more. Maybe cut away to him one or two other times, before he makes it there.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it made it look like he was some sort of investigator or something, following on the trail of these two men. Yeah, and I kind of liked thinking that, but that's not what it was.
Well, and plus you would think because he's going back to the house because he knows them.
Right.
And you would think that when he would get back, he would kind of, like, why are you sneaking around?
I know. Why are you creeping, dude? Of course that's going to happen if you're creeping.
You made a terrible decision. You don't creep. When you're familiar with the people in the area, don't be creeping. Bad things are going to happen.
It was also, I thought, an interesting role for Sam Worthington. Definitely not something that I'm used to seeing him. I mean, he was a horrible, horrible person in this movie.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, these two guys do some terrible things, and the way that they start the film, they let you know right off the bat. These two guys are completely reprehensible. There's no way that you're ever going to feel any kind of empathy for these two guys.
No. Never.
So I thought that was a really, really impactful way to start this film.
Yeah, because you're immediately against them.
Yeah.
There's no gray area with these guys.
Exactly.
They're evil.
Right. Which is why I had a little bit of a hard time with what happens at the end with him, because I just felt like that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, hurry.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Do you not remember everything that happened beforehand?
Yeah, exactly. But, I've never been in that situation, so I don't know. Maybe I'd hesitate. Maybe I'd think twice about doing something like that too.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we're never in that position.
Yeah.
But I just realized that I'm a Daniel Barber completist.
Are you?
I did not know this was the guy that directed Harry Brown.
Yeah, Harry Brown. I liked that. I liked Harry Brown.
Harry Brown was a simple movie.
It was.
It was pretty good. This is much better than Harry Brown.
It is.
In case anyone was wondering. Much, much better.
Harry Brown's kind of forgettable. It was good, but it was just,
I just remember Michael Caine destroying people.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a badass in that.
Destroying kids.
Well, there you have it. That's The Keeping Room. Let's go ahead and give this a score. I think we're 7s across the board on this one.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7 as well. It's well worth a look. It didn't blow my mind or anything like that, but it is still a solid film.
It's a solid movie.
Yeah, very, very little negative to say about it other than those few things. But definitely check it out. It is playing in limited release right now. I don't think it is on VOD currently.
Oh.
I do not believe it is on VOD, but Draft House Films is putting it out, so keep an eye on the Draft House Films website. I'm sure they do some weird scheduling with that stuff. Like, it'll pop up on VOD after a certain amount of time. So just keep a lookout for it. But yeah, I would absolutely recommend checking this one out this year.
Yes, I would as well.
Don't have any other reviews planned for this week, so let's just go ahead and jump into some of what we've been watching. Kevin, we'll start it off with you this week.
Okay. I watched a film called Hawaiian Punch from 2013. This is I guess you would call it a micro budget, almost no budget American indie. And this kickstarted a new feature.
Yeah.
New feature that we got going on here.
I'm excited about this.
I ended up settling on the name Unsung Indies, and I regret it. But whatever. I don't like the title, but what can you do? Locked it in.
It's out
And
there now.
it's out there.
You
It's
gotta
nothing
live
I
with
can
it.
do. God damn it. And this watching this movie essentially is what made me think of this, because this is something that me and you've been discussing for a while. We're trying to think of a feature, like how can we do this exactly, and we've been kicking around this idea probably for like a year or so.
Yeah, because we see these movies all the time, and they have like no release dates, or they had a weird release date, and they're just kind of,
And
you
a
know,
lot, and like in Hawaiian Punch's case, this I think the only maybe here or maybe a pop-up viewing in New York somewhere.
uh-huh.
Like the only release that a lot of these get is nobudge.com. It gets like 2-day or 3-day streaming on there or something like that. Now, currently this is on Vimeo. You can watch the whole thing. I actually put a link in the review that's up on the website there. And one of the things is, after watching this, I was really taken back by it, and I'm like, oh, let me look into it a little bit. Couldn't find any reviews. Look on Letterboxd, and at the time, I think 3 people saw it, which I thought, well, that's not right. So that's kind of what started this whole thing. And this is directed by, and I'm going to butcher the hell out of this name. We're going to be butchering a lot of names from here on out. Nandan Rao, I guess, is the name. Normally a cinematographer. The only other work I've seen from him was he did the cinematography for another American indie film, Green, which I remember quite liking. And here he handles direction. I guess you could kind of say writing, but I don't even know if there's a writing credit for this film. Editing, cinematography, kind of does everything. It's one of these mashups of docu-fiction, but it's also kind of behind the scenes making of, because the cast and crew, will take breaks and discuss things, but you're not 100% sure if this is a scripted part of the film or if you're actually seeing genuine interaction behind the scenes, because they're discussing some of the things that are in the film. It's just a weird mix, a little bit of everything going on. There's a lot of times where it's just completely black screen and all you hear is dialogue or just the ocean, because it takes place in Hawaii. And then there's some of the nighttime scenes is just images with no sound whatsoever. And it's just, you're always sifting between those. And it's quite interesting. It's a quite interesting film.
Now, would you consider it is it a drama or a comedy? Is it funny?
It's kind of funny. It's not really a drama. It opens up with a quote, because what the story revolves around is 2 Mormons in Hawaii. It appears that they're late 20s, mid 20s, and they're, I guess, looking for a spouse, I guess is what they're doing. And it's not quite sure what they're doing, but the opening quote is kind of saying, this guy, an apostle from the Church of Latter-day Saints, is saying that men over the age of 24 that haven't married are like the worst thing that can happen in a community. And if they're not married, they end up becoming something worse, which that's kind of judgmental.
A little bit, yeah, I'd say so.
So it's really just kind of like little episodes you drop in with this character over here, and then you drop in with this guy, and it's just them kind of having fun in Hawaii. There's an extended sequence where the one guy's watching a Notorious B.I.G. music video, and he's just rapping along. He's just rapping his heart out. And they're just cruising around in mopeds, just trying to find cliffs to jump off of. They're just having a good time. It's interesting. I recommend it, because the number one thing is the cinematography is, oh my goodness, it is gorgeous.
Well, I'm definitely going to check this out. And you should too.
He jumped up on my list. Like, how I had pretty much Bradford Young and Sean Price Williams kind of jockeying for first place, with Bradford Young kind of eking out. Wouldn't it? Now Nandan Rao's in there. It's a 3-way race.
Wow. I'm definitely going to have to check this out now.
Yeah, you got to get into it.
If you want to see this for yourself, you can look it up on Vimeo, or just scroll to the bottom of Kevin's article on the site, because he posted it in there. So
I was nice enough to throw it in there for you guys.
You can read the article and then just watch the movie that he was just talking about.
Or go straight to the bottom and watch it and then read
and
it.
then read it, and then just scroll back up to the top and then read his thoughts. I mean, it's so convenient. I noticed
Some of the
that
things you could do. It's
the
ridiculous.
on Letterboxd it's up to 8 people, so it looks like a few more people have been checking this one out.
Getting people in there.
Nice. I only have one movie to mention
shit.
this week, so in my getting ready to go on vacation, I didn't have a lot of time to watch stuff. So the only movie that I saw is called Some Kind of Hate. This came out on VOD. It's available now. It's a horror movie. Big surprise. It's terrible. Big surprise. It's about bullying. It has the theme of bullying. So the premise is there's this a kid who gets bullied at home by his drunk stepdad. He goes to school and he gets bullied by these dickhead kids, and they keep pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, and then eventually he kind of loses it, and he ends up stabbing a kid in the face with a fork.
Oh, shit.
He doesn't kill him or anything. He just, hurts him. So as a result of this, he ends up being sent to this sort of treatment center thing that's out in the desert.
Okay.
It's a weird little, it's sort of like one of those boot camp type things, but it's not really. It's more of like a spiritual kind of calming thing where they do like yoga and meditation and stuff and try to get centered, basically.
Do they do those I forget what they're called, but there's like sweat huts.
Probably. I don't
like pop up tent and they try and like sweat everything out of you.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, you don't see those in the movie, but they're probably there. It's the weird thing is it's like a really small group of people. There's only about, I don't know, 10 students. So it just seems like not a very efficient or successful program because there's so few students. But basically he starts getting bullied there too by this other kid. And what happens is this kid gets killed. And it turns out that it's the ghost of a girl who went to that school, who came back, and she was bullied to the point of suicide. And she comes back as a ghost and starts killing people, the students, the teachers. And it's ridiculous. The way that she kills people is she cuts herself, and she's like a voodoo doll ghost, where she cuts herself, and then the cuts show up on the people that she's targeting. And it's terrible. It's a terrible, awful movie. It's supposed to be kind of taking a look at bullying and how bullying is bad, but it doesn't do a good job of it because it almost encourages people to cut themselves because it's like a good thing in this movie. She's hurting those who hurt her by hurting herself. Mm-hmm. So it's almost reinforcing the idea of cutting, and it's awful. It's an awful movie. It's bloody as hell. It's really violent.
I can imagine.
And some of the makeup effects and the gore effects are done pretty well. There is somebody that gets caught on fire at the end, and it's not CG. They actually catch someone on fire.
It was good old school.
Yeah, so that's always a pleasant surprise when I see that. But
do they do it like full on old school where it even kind of looks the same, but it's like a guy waving his arms like they always do, and then he lays on the ground for some reason? Yeah,
it's full on. Yeah. Yes. But that's not enough to save this movie. It is bad. I do not recommend it. It's offensively bad. I could see this easily offending people who have been bullied or have family members or kids who have been bullied or people that have dealt with these kinds of issues in the past, people that may have cut themselves in the past or something like that, dealt with these issues because they don't do it in a respectful way. It's just awful. So no, Some Kind of Hate, can't recommend that one.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
That'll be probably near the bottom of my list this year.
Nice.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst one I've seen, but
it's close.
Probably it'll probably be in the bottom 5, I would say.
That's pretty bad because you see a lot of bad shit.
I do.
So like bottom 5 on your list is bad.
Oh yeah.
Like bottom five on my list is like, oh, that's just unfortunate. You happen to be one of the ones I saw.
Yeah.
But bottom five on your list is
Terrible. Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
I watched an interesting one. I watched Far from the Madding Crowd.
Oh, the old going with the old period drama, huh?
I'm all about period dramas this week.
For the longest time, I kept saying "far from the maddening crowd," but it's
I know.
far from the madding crowd.
Yeah, I want to say Maddening Crowd too.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just
Every
feels more
time.
natural to say maddening.
Yeah, because no one uses the word madding.
Exactly.
I guess that was a big word back in Thomas Hardy's time, based on his classic novel. Um, the main reason I watched this one is Thomas Vinterberg directed it. So
Yeah,
period drama here from Vinterberg.
and I'm a fan of Vinterberg.
I am as well, and I like this idea of kind of stylish directors doing these period pieces because it seems like we've like for some reason we've been inundated with all these period piece remakes
A little
for
bit,
whatever
yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why everyone's dipping into classic literature.
I'd say over the last 3 years, we've seen a little bit.
People have been going pretty hard.
Well, this is great though. This is something I wanted to mention when we were talking about the Keeping Room. Is that the Western is sort of making a comeback too in a really interesting way, where they're taking the idea of the Western and making it more stylish and almost art house. You know, it's like
Yeah.
the art house Western.
Yeah, it's kind of going back in time, regurgitating these ideas.
Yeah, and they're doing the same thing with these period pieces.
These period pieces, yeah, and the look of Far from the Madding Crowd looks good. Right, it's a good looking film. I enjoy it. There's some good cinematography in there. Vinterberg's styling works in with this story. The story itself, it's okay. It's not my cup of tea, but it is interesting to see a strong female character from that time. And even though there's a number of classic literature that have strong female characters, but it was refreshing to see. Even though she makes some decisions that don't really work out too well for it. But
Is this the one where she's like the designer?
this is the one she inherits a farm. She gets her uncle's farm, and it's a
Okay.
big farm.
Okay.
Oh.
There was another one that came out right around the same time with where she was like I can't remember the main.
the Coco Chanel one. Is that what it is?
Yes, I think that is the one.
With Audrey Tautou?
I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Might be.
It's
I might have gotten everything wrong with what I just said, but I'm going to say that I'm right.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking up because I know I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna look it up. But continue.
Look it up. Okay. So this is Carey Mulligan plays the main character here, and she does a great job. Her performance is great. And she ends up she meets Mr. Oak, who's a shepherd, who's played by Matthias Schoenaerts. And this is before she's really anything. She's just a girl. And Mr. Oak's like, "Will you marry me?" She says no. She's too independent. She's not having it. And then she ends up inheriting a farm. Mr. Oak loses all of his sheep because he has a stupid ass dog that wakes up sheep in the morning or in the middle of the night, and they break through a fence, and the dog takes them out to the cliff by the ocean, and they all go off the edge of the cliff, which
Stupid
seems kind of
sheep.
it seems kind of ridiculous. Another thing that's kind of ridiculous to kind of kickstart everything. First we had raccoons biting people, and now we have a stupid dog taking all of the sheep off of a cliff to fall into their death. And Mr. Oak never wakes up during any of this, except too late. Comes up running. Sheep are already gone. There's nothing you can do. Lost everything. He's wandering around. He happens upon a farm that's on fire. He saves the day. Guess whose farm it is? You never fucking guess. Take a guess. Try and guess whose farm.
I don't know. You tell me.
Fucking Carey Mulligan's farm.
Oh.
Yep.
What?
He saves the day. Guess what? She needs a shepherd. Bam. But guess
Shepherd
what?
found.
Shepherd's been found. But guess what? Now she's got money. So she can't be with the likes of Mr. Oak. So that's off the table. And then the guy that owns the farm next door, he wants in on the marriage action. She says no. Then another guy shows up, and she's just got suitors left and right. She's just fighting guys off with a stick, really. And then other things happen. Marriage happens, and non-marriage happens, and all that kind of stuff.
Marriage happens and non-marriage happens.
All sorts of things. People being offended by, opinions and whatnot.
The other period piece I was thinking of was A Little Chaos, the Alan Rickman one.
Oh, okay.
Which was with Kate Winslet and Matthias Schoenaerts.
Oh, okay.
It's an easy one to get mixed up.
That's not the one I was thinking of. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid film. It's not terrible.
Yeah, my girlfriend saw it, and she when it was playing in the theater, and she was like, "Yeah, it was okay."
It's one of those where it's like, it's fine.
I think I'll still be skipping it though, just because it does fine. Not.
You're not going to be. Yeah, you're not going to be missing anything.
There's
a couple of scenes that are like really kind of stunning. Like, oh man, this looks good. I like the way that this is filmed and how it's composed. But other than that, it's just decent performances, decent story.
Cool. And that's Far from the Madding Crowd. How did you see this?
I got this on a DVD from Netflix.
So it's on Netflix DVD right now. It's probably on VOD at this point as well.
It's probably somewhere.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's move on and talk about some predictions. Last week, we predicted Hotel Transylvania 2. You said 36. I said 52. Actual 46. Still not interested. The Green Inferno. You said 50. I said 56. Actual 39.
Wow. Right.
It's got a 39, but from all the reviews that I've read, including ours on the site, it seems to be kind of middle of the road. 39 makes it sound bad, but from what I've been reading, it's kind of like just middle of the road. I'm still interested in checking it out. Unfortunately, I left the city on my trip, so I don't know if there's anywhere around me that's playing it. Might have to wait till I get back, but I'll be checking it out at some point. Next week we have Hell and Back. This is the animated, the R-rated stop motion one.
Okay.
I don't know what to think about this one, honestly. Like, it could be funny, but I don't know. What do you think?
Hell and Back. I'm going to go with a 58.
I'm going to say 46 on that one.
Good people in it.
There's good people in it. I saw the trailer a while back. It seemed all right. But, I don't know. We also have The Martian, the new Ridley Scott, Matt Damon.
Oh boy.
I
seeing that fucking face everywhere. That stupid fucking helmet.
I think this one's going to be pretty good, so I'll say 76.
I'd say 72.
It's really interesting with Ridley Scott. You never know. You never know what you're going to get.
Never know. I just can't. Yeah. Ridley Scott. Can't wait for that. When it comes out, like the time that it comes out, and then like 2 weeks afterwards, that press tour that he's gonna do. All the just going through those excuses.
Well, yeah.
Well,
also,
we actually had a scene that did this, and it cleared everything up.
Yeah, actually, Damon Lindelof wrote The Martian, so we may be running into some of those.
Because IMDb says Drew Goddard.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry, Drew Goddard wrote it.
Okay.
Not Damon Lindelof, sorry. But Drew Goddard, yeah. Could be some interesting things.
That's my favorite part of every Ridley Scott release is the during and after.
Well, this week he announced the title of the new Prometheus movie. It's going to be called, what was it? Alien? It's called Alien something, which it makes things so much more confusing because they were working on a new Alien movie. But now the new Prometheus is called like Alien. What the fuck's it called? Alien : something.
I hope that's what it's actually called.
I didn't even report on it on the site because Prometheus was originally called Alien : something, and they ended up changing it all around, and so I take that title with a grain of salt, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to report on that because it's probably going to change in 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah. You're not going to know until it actually comes out. Until you see a trailer for the damn thing.
Yeah. All right, next week in limited release, we have Attack on Titan. That's the live-action version of the popular anime series. I tried to watch that anime a few times, and man, it's interesting. And the creatures, the Titans, are really, really creepy looking, and they look insane. I love the look of the Titans, but the story itself, for some reason, I just can't get into it.
Can't do it.
And I've been really trying to get on an anime kick lately, and I've been watching. There's a show, an anime series called Psycho Pass, and it's excellent. That one is so good.
Psychopaths.
Yeah, I recommend Psycho Pass if you're into. It's sort of like a cross between Cowboy Bebop and Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Okay.
If you're familiar with those, it's like a cross between all of those. It's basically, it takes place in the future, and there's these detectives who they use this AI system to kind of predict when people are going to become criminally insane. So it's got kind of a Minority Report thing going on.
Yeah.
But it's on Netflix, so you can watch it on there. The first season is on Netflix.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'd recommend that. But Attack on Titan, yeah, I don't know. The movie looks like it could be interesting. This is part 1. I think it's going to be a 2-part film. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out because I'm still interested in the story, even though the anime really didn't do it for me. We also have Legend. Wait, no, I think that got pushed back, actually. That's the one with Tom Hardy, I think, right?
Yeah, and Tom Hardy.
Yeah, and I think that got pushed back, so I'm not sure that is actually coming out next week. We also have Freeheld, Partisan. That's the one with Vincent Cassel. I think we'll be reviewing that next week, maybe.
Sounds good.
It looks interesting. Northern Soul and Addicted to Fresno.
Okay.
On VOD next week, we have Deathgasm. I'm really excited about Deathgasm. I think it looks awesome. It's right up my alley, and I'm really excited to see that one finally. It's been playing the festival circuit for a long time, and it kept eluding me. Blood, Sweat, and Beer. I'm not sure what that one's all about. Documentary about craft beer makers.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait 1 second. Blood, Sweat, and Beer. Let me look this up real quick.
I guarantee it is a documentary about craft beer makers.
Pretty sure we nailed it. What's it about? Oh, the explosive growth of the craft beer industry.
I knew it. Oh, big surprise there. We have Christmas Horror Story. I feel like, it's really interesting how there's all these Krampus movies coming out all of a sudden. Because I'm pretty sure A Christmas Horror Story is about the Krampus. And then there's also the movie called The Krampus. And then Kevin Smith was also working on one. And it's like the story of the Krampus has been around for eons. Why is it now that we're just getting flooded with these?
Well, I do love that, all it takes is one person.
Yeah.
I want to make a Krampus movie. And then 10 other people are like, yes, Krampus movie, let's do it.
I still think the best Krampus story is Venture Bros. The Venture Bros Christmas special has the Krampus in it, and it's amazing.
There you go. Just watch that instead.
Because the Krampus comes and picks up Dr. Venture and throws him over his shoulder and whips him with reeds. And it's so funny the way that the animation looks. I love it. And finally on VOD, we have Finders Keepers. That's the documentary about the guy who finds is it a foot or an arm? I can't remember.
It's a leg, I think.
Yeah.
It's a leg.
Finds a leg in a grill that he buys.
Yeah. And just, why is that where you store your leg?
I don't know.
Why are you keeping it in a grill?
It sounds like a really interesting story. So I'll probably be checking
honestly,
out.
If that's how you're taking care of your leg, you don't deserve it back. I think the Finder Keepers does. I think it applies here.
Yeah,
because you don't deserve it. If you're keeping it in a grill and then you sell that grill and forget that your leg's in there, you don't deserve that leg.
I think when you sell something like that, you sell everything, including what's inside.
So it works.
You know, if you misplace your leg in your grill and then you sell that grill, you're selling the leg with it.
Yeah, it's your own
Package
fault.
deal.
It's your own fault. Sorry.
That's all we have on VOD. Let's talk about some Blu-ray releases. Next week we have a re-release of Christine. I've never seen Christine.
I've seen parts of it.
I've never seen it. We have Spy, Entourage the movie,
Oh, yes.
Poltergeist, which is the new Poltergeist. We have Cop Car. I'd recommend Cop Car. I'd also recommend Spy, actually. I had a surprising amount of fun with that one.
I can't wait to watch that one. It's been a while. I need a comedy.
I think you'll find what you're looking for with that one, honestly. I didn't expect much, but yeah. Aloft, which I do not recommend that one. God, falconry. If you're into falconry.
Even if you're into falconry. No. I'm sorry.
Zipper, Return to Sender. Let's see what else we got here. Children of the Night, which is a kind of an interesting looking horror movie about a school of children vampires.
Okay.
It's I'm not sure if it's I can't remember where that film. I don't know if it's a Mexican film or a Spanish film. I'm not sure. Unexpected. I saw that one. It's decent. Nothing special. It's the one that's directed by Joe Swanberg's wife, Chris Swanberg. It's okay. It's not bad. Okay. What else we got? What else? It's really all I'm seeing here.
That's all you're saying? That's all you got? I have 2 criterions if you want to move into those.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, well, the first one we have is The Honeymoon Killers from Leonard Castle.
Awesome cover on that one.
1969. This looks pretty good, gotta say.
Yeah, it's a classic story.
Yeah, based on the true story, documentary style, black and white. I would recommend that one. Just based on what I'm reading here, I'm saying that to recommend. The other one, not so much. At least it's not my cup of tea, even though I did watch Far From Mad and Crowd. A Room with a View from James Ivory, 1986. Cinematic adaptation of E.M. Forster's novels. So it's got a 19-year-old Helen Bonham Carter.
Woohoo!
And it's so that kind of thing. There you go. Have at it.
That's it.
No, I'm not going to do that.
All right. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at FilmPulseNet and at FilmPulseKevin. You can send us an email with questions, topics, etc. to podcast@filmpulse.net. And please take a minute to take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/filmpulse, and consider subscribing to help keep this show running. We appreciate that so very much. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name is Adam Patterson, and we'll see you on Thursday for Ryan Watches a Movie.